Good morning, everyone. It is just about sunrise, and like I mentioned yesterday, I'm heading to South Alabama today for a little bit of a weekend road trip. It is early July now, so it's not the best time of year to be making road trips to go herping in the southeast, but there are still plenty of cool things to be found, and among those things is a really cool tree frog and a salamander species I've never seen. So that's the main goal of this little trip. We're about to make a bit of a drive, and I will update you guys as the trip goes on. Glad we're not going that direction. Anyways, we are currently on the road in Alabama. We'll be arriving at our destination here sometime in the next hour and a half, but those guys are going to be taking a little bit longer to get where they're going. But open road for us so far. Alright guys, we are down here in South Alabama, currently turning around for our first snake of the trip right in front of this guy's house. If it is a racer, it's probably gonna dip. Is it live?
No.
Oh, it's DOR. Crap. Well, DOR racer. We're on the board. Dude! What's up? It's a gopher tortoise. He's about to cross this busy road. I cannot believe this. We shall protect you as you cross, brother. But you gotta keep going. Dude, what a handsome man. What a guy. There is a car coming too. Anyways, that is our only native true tortoise here in the southeastern U.S., the gopher tortoise. And one of the most important animals that you can find in this ecosystem. And just in time, car to come along. He just got done eating. We did it. We found the lizard. Looks like a little fence lizard in the road. Is he gonna move? No, he's gonna sit there. You're not scared of this car inching towards you? He's still sitting there. What's up, fence lizard brother? Dude, he's handsome. That is a nice fence lizard, if I do say so myself. Alright guys, we're walking around this pond. We just lost some sort of snake, like a racer or an rodeo or something that went flying past. But then I noticed this guy. That is a bronze frog. I don't know what he's doing up there. This is probably going to be a pretty froggy video. There's that guy. And then Daniel found a little eastern narrowmouth. So neither of these are the frog we came down here to see, but we're mostly waiting until it gets dark to go look for our main target species. But nice looking green frog and a nice little narrowmouth here to kind of kick off the frogging activities for the day. It's heat of the day right now, so it's about 90 something degrees, and it's pretty hot out here. So we're just sticking to water, looking in the shade, hoping to kind of kick some stuff up before it starts to cool off this afternoon. So anyways, just gonna leave this guy here and we're gonna keep walking, see what else we can turn up. Here is our second gopher tortoise of the day. This guy is just chowing down on this plant right here on the side of the road. Whatever it is, he likes it and has been eating it. Well, if we're not gonna find any snakes, we might as well be finding these guys. We do not get to see gopher tortoises terribly often, so this is definitely a treat. And this guy's just kind of chilling here. I was hoping he'd come back out and keep feasting once he realizes we don't mean any harm, but he's getting bothered by a mosquito right now. Doesn't seem very happy about it. But yeah, gopher tortoise number 2 for the day. This one's in a more natural but also less gopher tortoisey looking area. It's just kind of wet here. You can see our footprints in the sand, how soggy it is. Really a strange place to see one of these guys. So, but anyways, we're just gonna let this guy continue foraging here and hope that no one with ill intent comes along on this road. So, all right, everyone. So we're back out here in the afternoon. We just had lunch and it's nice and cloudy, cooled off a little bit, and we just cruised the DOR Copperhead, and then about a half a mile down the road, a live one. All right, guys, we moved this little Copperhead a bit up the road because he was right between two houses, and the landowner came out and was looking like he was going to try to talk us into letting him kill it. So we put him in a bag and moved him down the road before that could escalate any further. So we're going to release this guy right here. We're only like maybe a quarter mile from where we initially found him. So, but nice little copperhead is our first living snake of the day. All right, everyone. First living snake. We got him off the side of the road here, and we're just going to let this guy go. But beautiful juvenile copperhead. I expect that's probably not the only one we'll see, since we saw two, one freshly run over within like the first 5 minutes of being on a back road. So we're gonna get back to it and see if we can find anything else. All right, so after finding that copperhead like literally on the first eighth of a pass down the road after getting lunch, and the dead one too, we have not seen anything alive. We've seen a couple DORs that weren't around earlier, but it's been dead. It looks like there might be a storm moving in, which should be good for our tree frog hunting tonight, but I'm not really sure if we're gonna see any more snakes. If the rain holds off, I feel like we'll at least see a few things once it gets dark, so we're gonna hope that it stays dry for the time being. There is our first snake in quite some time. It is actually a beautiful banded water snake, but he looks just like the Midland water snakes we find back home. I mean, I don't think I'm probably gonna get bit real bad here. Well, it's gotta be said, that could have went a lot better than it did. She tried to bite me and missed and only caught me with one tooth, and it just filleted my hand. She's really been a pretty sweet snake all around. Only tried to bite once or twice, but gave me a good one. Got a really nice looking banded water snake. First snake of the kind of dusk hour. So hopefully some of those frogs calling over there are Pine Barrens tree frogs, but I'm not gonna get my hopes up. And right here we have what I'm assuming is a bird voice tree frog. Could be a gray, but I'm assuming based on the fact we're hearing a lot of bird voice around that this is a bird voice. The only way to really tell them apart for sure is one, they're a little bit smaller than grays. Okay. That guy's kind of tiny. And if you look behind their legs, they have different coloring, but I'm pretty sure this is a bird voice, so we're gonna go with that. So, these are the wrong green tree frog. These are just regular old green tree frogs like we see everywhere. There's another one calling right there. But yeah, not the ones we're looking for, but still cool to see. This is kind of cool. We don't want to disturb her too much, but I just stumbled across this yellow-bellied slider laying eggs right here on the side of the road. She's doing her thing though, so we don't want to mess with her too much. We get to see this fairly often, usually during the day though, so kind of interesting to see it at night. We're just gonna leave her alone. Just to add to the diversity list for the night, beautiful little narrow-mouthed toad. We saw one of these earlier today, but this is a lot nicer one. This one's absolutely beautiful. Really cool gray coloration on him. But we're gonna move this guy out of the road. We're currently making our way back to the car from this little spot we've been shining around at. No Pine Barrens tree frogs here, which are the main thing we're hoping to see. But lots of greens, bird voice tree frogs, narrowmouths, toads, and leopard frogs. So really good frog diversity out tonight. Hopefully we can find the right pond and get into some Pine Barrens tree frogs. All right, guys, a little up the road, we just cruised our next frog species of the night. Got another large green tree frog, but still not the one we're looking for. This is a barking tree frog, but really cool looking frogs nonetheless. This is a small one. These guys are the largest tree frog we have here in Georgia. Actually, we're not even in Georgia, but in the southeast, these are the largest native tree frog. And they can get 2 or 3 times this size. But these guys are pretty easy to tell apart from the other tree frogs based on their green with spotty appearance. The rest of the green tree frogs are normally going to be mostly solid colored with different variations of stripes, but really cool looking frogs nonetheless. Hopefully we'll see a bigger one tonight so we can show it to you. But look at him just crawling across the road. What awesome frogs. So over here we have a chorus of pine woods tree frogs and oak toads. 2 species we don't get to see very often, so we're going to try to track some of these guys down, see if we can get a look at them. These guys keep giving us a scare on the road. There's lots of big green katydids everywhere, which look like big green tree frogs, but they're not. All right, so that high-pitched peeping you hear are oak toads, and this guy right here is a little oak toad. These are the smallest native toad we have here in the southeast, and this is a full-grown adult, only about the size of a quarter. Don't want to get too close because I don't want to disturb his calling, trying to get a photo of him calling, but yeah, oak toad. Really cool species that I very seldom get to see, even though they are quite common in a lot of areas. And this guy right here is a pine woods tree frog. There's something kind of interesting. I was following a frog call over here, and I lost him, but... Alright, there's a sleeping green anole. Deep asleep. My light didn't even wake him up, so we're just going to leave him alone. But there's been some really good diversity out here tonight. Can't complain about it. Alright guys, we're approaching our next pond that you guys can hear how many frogs are calling over there. Hopefully this is going to be the one where we can finally find a pine Barrens tree frog. But we're going to see. It might just be an impenetrable wall of vegetation. Dude, these are northerns. These are weird.
Yo, that's a big waterfall.
I know. Well, that last pond was super productive. I think I did a lot of mostly silent video so you guys could absorb the sights and sounds as I was. Not that you'd be able to hear me if I was talking, but we just cruised a nice sized barker at our next spot, or on our way to our next spot. You can see that's a much more typically sized one, but really awesome tree frogs. Glad to have seen quite a few of these tonight. Well, guys, we're walking along, and Micah looks down at his feet. This is 100% in situ. Those are my lifer pine Barrens tree frogs. In amplexus, beautiful pair, just chilling out. That is amazing. These are such awesome little frogs, and I was beginning to think we weren't gonna find any until Micah clutched with these two little guys. These frogs have an incredibly unusual distribution, ranging all the way north into the New Jersey pine Barrens, and all the way south into North Florida. But somehow there is not a single documented population of this species in my home state of Georgia, despite the fact that we're probably only an hour, maybe an hour and a half away from the Georgia border right now. I'm sure I will have more opportunities to photograph and video these frogs in the future. I took a few quick photos, but this is a mating pair, and these aren't the most common frogs, so we don't want to disturb what they're up to here, so we're just going to cut our lights and leave them to it. What an epic way to end the night. Actually, we're not done. We're going to go look for one more thing tonight. It's about midnight right now, I think, so midnight Georgia time at least. So we're going to wrap up with these guys shortly and go head on to our next target. Well, like I said, I apologize for the very brief glance at those guys, but really don't want to disturb the breeding process with that species particularly, because they are pretty uncommon here in Alabama and have a restricted range. But very awesome. Definitely makes the trip if it wasn't made already, just seeing all the awesome wildlife out here tonight, so I will take that. Well, guys, that is probably going to be it for the night. I was just telling these guys I could walk around out here all day or all night, but my flashlight's dead, so I'm not going to be able to do any more filming, and I'll probably end up having to bumble around in the dark if I don't head back now. So I think we are going to finally call it a day at 4 a.m., roughly 24 hours after this adventure began. And it has been a fun one for sure. Yes, indeed, that glow you see on the horizon is the sun rising. We left for South Alabama at around this time yesterday. Or I guess it